Caught between a rock and a hawk. A lot of talk on the block, but now they're between the chalk, and the helmets will knock. Enough already. It's Westerville Central and Dublin Coffman coming up next. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the CW Columbus. I'm Randy Reinhardt, alongside the one and only football professor Jeff Logan, who is back from his sabbatical.
I had a week off, emceed the dinner for the Ohio State Hall of Fame, and it was a terrific evening. Great to see those Buckeyes being recognized.
And we've got a clash of football cultures here tonight in this one. Westerville Central, they want to move the ball to the outside. This team is 1-3. They're coached by Ed Miley in year number 1, coming over from Olentangy Liberty. He's got a guy on his team. He's special. He's a wide receiver. His name is Jacob Harris.
Yeah, Jacob Harris is a terrific football player. You may recognize the name. His father, Josh Harris, a prolific quarterback at Westerville. He went on to Bowling Green. This kid has got great numbers, but there's a change at quarterback for Westerville Central. Gwynn, we understand, will not start at that quarterback spot. Who's going to get him the ball, Randy? He's a playmaker.
Yeah, Jaston down with an injury, so he will not start this contest tonight. On the other side, Dublin Coffman, the Rocks, 2-2, coached by Garen Stokes in year number 2. Not often do we focus on the defensive line, but we'll do that tonight because they've got a guy with a familiar name and a familiar trait. He is strong. He is mean. His name is Will Smith.
Yeah, this is another legacy player. You'll remember his late father, who played for the Buckeyes in the early 2000s, went on to a terrific career with the New Orleans Saints. But this young man, Will Smith Jr., is making a name for himself. He's a Buckeye commit, and one thing I will tell you about this guy, he's gotten stronger, and he is disruptive on defense. Should be fun to watch.
And they lost to Dublin Jerome last week for the first time ever, 16-7. Are you ready for some football?
Let's rock and roll.
Are you ready? It is homecoming, and what a night we have for football. It's the Warhawks and the Rocks, and it's the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College, in one place here on the CW Columbus.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Marshall McPeak. It is going to be a beautiful night for some football tonight. Temperatures will be mild. We're going to be near 80 degrees at kickoff. And by the time we get to halftime, still in the 70s. The wind is not going to be very strong, so the weather really shouldn't have a whole lot of impact on what's happening for your game tonight. However, going through the overnight hours tonight, it'll get cool again and we may see some patchy fog. Your evening looks awesome. Even by midnight, we're still at 66 degrees.
Marshall, thank you very much. It is indeed a great night for high school football action. The halfway point of the season, week number 5. And while you're gone, Dublin Coffman won the toss and they've deferred, so Westerville Central will receive with the ball going from left to right. As it's time now for the Buckeye State Bank kickoff. Start enjoying the benefits of banking local with Buckeye State Bank. Get started today by visiting joinbsb.com. To boot it to start the contest, Matt Schramm is the kicker. He does all the duties when it comes to foot on the football for the Rocks. And for the squad from Westerville Central, Mario Williams is going to be back deep. Also Kobe Davis and Elijah Harris. And again, we mentioned the late news that Jason Gwynn will not start at quarterback tonight for Westerville Central, Jeff, and it'll be Grant Glazer instead, who started last season as the QB. There's the kick, and the return is going to start from the 2-yard line. Almost ended there as well, too. Up across the 15 to around the 17-yard line. 15-yard return on the play for Elijah Harris, and it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Warhawks. And there is the replacement at quarterback in Grant Glazer, who goes 6'2" and 190. He will run the offense tonight. A different look as opposed to when Jason Gwynn would be out there. Jason was a guy that had passed for 426 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 4 picks, and carried it 53 times for 319 yards.
You know, it's really hard to have two different playbooks if you've got different quarterbacks. Starting quarterback, more of an athletic guy, and then Glazer comes in here. He's more of a drop-back guy, but they're going to have to concentrate on getting the ball to their playmakers. And how about this, Randy? First play of the game, they're one man short.
Yep. It's another Home Appliance Solutions first down in this contest, by the way, too. So they bring in the last guy, put him on a wing to the bottom. They'll hand it off and look for a gap, and there's absolutely nothing there as they'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it on the carry that time by Jaden Gwynn. Checking out your Safe Light starters on offense for Westerville Central. Jacob Harris, the guy we talked about in the open. But watch Kobe Davis, the slot man. Colin Ronick also has some experience as a wideout as well, too. Good size in that line, too. Carrick Wickham will step in at center, taking over for Max Sproles, who is injured. Had a birthday, too, did Max, back on the 7th. So for Glazer and company, it's 2nd down and 9. Gained just about 2.5 feet on that first down play. And Glazer wants to throw, looks, has his man, and the pass is complete across the 20 out to the 25-yard line. So pick up about 7 on the play as they take it around the left-hand side. So a nice gain on 2nd down as it goes to Aaron Gilbert, who's 5'6" and 192. Safe Light defense for the Rocks. Brent Allerding takes over that odd stack look. We talked about Will Smith. Max is next to him, no relation to Jenkins, though are related. His brother, Carson Cox, can be a force on both sides of the football. Some good size and experience in secondary. Michael Anderson saw time last year as well in that secondary. So it's a 3rd down play, 3rd and just less than 2 right now. We'll call it a long one, with the ball sitting at the 25-yard line. The running play was not effective on 1st down. Jeff, do they go back to it on 3rd down?
Let's see if they go with a little read option here and see what quarterback Grant Glazer can do reading the defensive end.
Blitz is coming, and nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. They come from the left side defensively, and they shut that down as Gwynn tries to find an opening, and there was absolutely nothing there.
Boy, right in the middle of the play, Max Smith, Randy, who you mentioned, no relation to the Will Smith Jr., and look at the contact being made. Carson Cox coming up from that inside linebacker position, making the play.
Yeah, those two got together, Max and Carson. Carson's trying to strip the football as well, too. So Colin Ronick on to boot the ball now, standing back at his own 10-yard line. And he likes that rugby-style kick and goes opposite across the field. Sounds like a good name for a song. And it's going to go to bounce inside the 45-yard line, and that's where the Rocks will take over offensively on their first possession. And they're led by the quarterback, number 12 there on your screen. Quinn Hart, you can see what he's done, a little over 50% passing, but no touchdown passes. This is a team that normally lives by the run, Jeff.
Well, in the land of quarterbacks, Dublin Coffman High School, who has a unbelievable history in quarterbacks, a little hard to believe that here we are in week number 5, and we have 0 touchdown passes from Quinn Hart.
Well, you think about Mason Maggs, who's here last year, and of course, a walk-on at Ohio State now. They like to shift out of things, and they go with multiple looks offensively, as head coach Garen Stokes is the O coordinator. From the 45 is where they will start. And a quick pop out in the flat. Nicely caught that time in the hands. And out across midfield all the way down to the 45-yard line as it goes to Amari Valerio Hudson.
Number 10, Amari Valerio Hudson.
Take a look at that safe flight offense. We talked about Valerio Hudson. He's joined by Doherty as a great tight end out there. And Young as well, too, as a wide receiver. Good size in that line. One change in the line. Carson Miller will start at center tonight. He'll slide over. And Leo Cavanis will start at left guard tonight. And David White is the starting running back in this contest for the Rocks. I'm going to say it's a gain of 10, so it's a Home Appliance Solutions first down to the 45 now for the Warhawks. And a quick pop downfield. Pass is complete inside the 25, down to the 21-yard line. That looked like a passing offense that time. Valerio Hudson with his second catch will pick up 24 as we check out the safe light defense now, which is run by head coach Ed Miley of the Warhawks. And you look up front, you see Mulligan and Shepherdson, and Ragland is back from last year. Bangura, a force on the inside, a key on the outside as well, too. And in the secondary, some good size as well, too. Mario Williams, quite an athlete. They like what he does at cornerback.
Obviously, they feel like they can throw the football on this Westerville Central Warhawk defense. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen.
Hart on the first down play, going to hand it off, and nothing there. They stretch it out and trying to turn the corner. Nothing there for big number 23. That is David White. 6 feet, 185, and a sophomore. Good job by that man on your screen, number 11. That's Andrew Creaky coming up from the secondary.
Randy, we talk about defenses trying to stretch or spill the play to the outside, and that's exactly what happens here. When you've got that running back running from sideline to sideline, there is not going to be much progression in terms of being able to get the ball upfield. That is a terrific play defensively for the Warhawks.
Creaky was a wide receiver in the past, fastest kid on the team, and a downhill runner, and you could see him make that play going to the outside. Quick pop into the flat. It is complete. It goes to White, who's inside the 20, and churns and pushes down to the 17, maybe the 16. That's maybe one question mark when you look at it for the Rocks, trying to establish who the star running back is in that backfield.
Yeah, Randy, that's trying to find somebody that can get the momentum going out there. Look at the great job, though, that the wide receivers are doing blocking on the perimeter. Amari Valerio Hudson out there. That is a terrific job. And Ty Young, a senior wide receiver out there, doing the dirty work.
We're inside the Bathfitter Red Zone. Transform your bathroom in one day. Get started at bathfitter.com. Along the near sidelines, they peer onto the field with 7.5 left to go, and they see a third down, and about halfway home they need 5 more from just inside the 17 for Hart and company. And calls his own number, and he's got the gain, he's got the first down, and he's got a first and goal inside the 7 near the 6-yard line before he's brought down on the play once again by Creaky.
That was a read option, but it was a whoops read option because Quinn Hart had trouble handling the football as it came back. Watch the snap here. It's low. Not sure what he wants to do with it. He tucks it, and he's able to make the right decision, but it was the de facto decision because it was the only thing left open for quarterback Quinn Hart.
Well, de facto is he's got 66 carries now for 285 yards, and they've got a first and goal inside the 7-yard line for the Rocks. Between the tackles they go, and White pushes the pile inside the 5 down to around the 3. David White, 35 carries, 148 yards, 4.2-yard average. Guy works 2 jobs and plays football. And against Kent McKinley, he had 22 carries for 111 yards. He's a compelling mix of leaning speed, if you will, and power.
Yeah, pretty impressive as a young sophomore football player, still learning the game at the varsity level. Big change coming up from that freshman squad to what feels like playing against men when you get to the varsity level.
Second and goal inside the 5 near the 4-yard line. Again, look who's on a wing to the bottom. That is Mr. Smith. Not going to Washington, he's going to pay dirt, and they're going to find it on that run off the left side. Another Ramos Ripping touchdown as they take it in for the score in the person of Carson Cox. He gets a lot of the dirty yards, if you will, and for Carson Cox, takes it in for the 7th time this season.
This is their heavy look. You mentioned that Will Smith came in there as a wingback trying to make moves on the blocking there and created a good opportunity. And that's your middle linebacker who, as you mentioned, Carson Cox goes in there from time to time in short yardage. And just like that, the Rocks are on the scoreboard.
He's got 64 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. Extra point time, plenty of leg. The snap, the kick is up. And it is good on the play by Matt Schramm. Schramm now is perfect in extra points on the season. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds for a message from our good friends at Toyota.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Danielle.
And we're back on the road again in the adventurous new Toyota RAV4. Now, we can tell you why RAV4 is the best-selling SUV.
But we'd rather show you.
Let's go.
First off, RAV4 is one of 14 different Toyotas available as an electrified vehicle.
At 40 mpg, it's got a driving range of 580 miles.
Saving you thousands in fuel costs over the next 5 years.
And every new RAV4 comes with 2-year no-cost maintenance included.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Thank you, Ethan and Danielle. I'm Randy. That's Jeff to my side, and to the other side is Jake. Glad to have you aboard for week number 5 of Friday Night Rivals. It is USA night, if you haven't guessed it yet, here at Dublin Coffman High School. There's your kitchen saver scoring drive, and took just over 3.5 minutes for that touchdown. Get your dream kitchen in under a week with a free quote at kitchensaver.com. There's the kick. It is high, and will come near the earth and around the 5-yard line. And Harris up across the 20, Elijah to the 21, maybe the 22. All right, offensively for Westerville Central, the pass play looked good, but Jeff, anything else that you saw on their first drive?
Well, I thought good execution from a quarterback spot, and Quinn Hart, the junior quarterback out there, executed well. They did a couple of the quick pop plays out into the perimeter. Really gave opportunities. Those are almost like run plays for this offense, but it gives him a little bit of confidence throwing the ball. I really loved him putting the ball down the seam, too.
How about for Westerville Central? What did you see on their first drive?
Well, Westerville Central looks a little confused out there, quite honestly, with this change at quarterback. And, you know, the one responsibility of this team, it shouldn't matter who's in charge there. We got to all play together.
4 wideouts for Glazer and company. The quick pop in the flat. That is a forward pass, but barely good balance that time to get out to the 25-yard line. It could have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, but instead good balance that time, and we'll take it around the left-hand side and get a decent gain of about 3 on the play.
Yeah, good throw by
Davis on the catch.
Good throw by Grant Glazer. Watch how he keeps the ball out in front of the receiver as he's coming out of the backfield. Randy, the importance of that is making sure that he can continue his momentum down the field. That quarterback has to place that ball right in the forward area instead of the back having to, rotate his shoulders back to be able to catch the ball and then try and get that momentum going downfield.
4 catches now for 65 yards for Davis on the season. He'll pick up a long 3, 2nd and 7 from just past the 26-yard line. They're showing blitz. And they're sending extra guys, so they dump it outside. And I think that's going to be the M.O., but that time they guess well, and there's nothing there in big number 3. Trevor Earl coming up from the secondary, the free safety, 26 tackles, 1 for loss. Making the hit last year, had to deal with a torn ACL in week number 2.
There's a man that has done his film study because he was on this play from the get-go, just like shot out of a gun coming from that free safety spot. Trevor Earl coming up to make the play and enjoying it with his teammates out there. An excellent play, great preparation in that secondary.
The problem with the Warhawks now is they tested the inside, couldn't find anything. Early on they got something to the outside, but now the Rocks are shutting that down. What do you do on a 3rd down and 8 with 4:40 left to go? Change the look with just the odd man look of 3 coming. And that leaves an opening to the far side across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Well, you got to like the aggressive team tackling of this Coffman Rock defense, Randy, so far.
Davis with the catch. He's going to be shy of the sticks by just about a yard.
He had the ball at 9 yards right there to be able to get the first down. But I want you to see after the first hit, look at the green coming for the rescue. They come in there to help make the play, and good effort there. Good team defense.
Anderson there. Jaden Cooper there as well, too. Punting situation for the 2nd time in the first quarter now for Colin Ronick. Replacing Jacob Robertson, who handled all the kicking last year as well, too. And there's a line drive kick that is going to be caught at the 36-yard line. And wrestling breaks out there. Absolutely no room for return on that time for Nigel Allard. And with that being said, we'll pause for the cause with 3:50 left to go. Rocks with an early touchdown. They lead 7-0 here on the CW Columbus. Years I go back with it.
Wow.
Watching Friday Night Rivals is easy and convenient. Every game is streamlined on the ABC News app, the ABC6 YouTube page, the CWColumbus.com, and of course on your television. And it's all powered by Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center.
3:50 left to go in quarter number one. Dublin Coffman on top of Westerville Central 7-0. 2-2, if you will, leading 1-3. This is a non-league contest, two different divisions of the OCC here. Week number 5, Westerville Central currently 16th in D1 Region 3. And on the other side, Dublin Coffman 12th in Division 1 Region 2. Top 16 at the end of Week 10 make the playoffs. And we will talk to the executive director of the OHSAA, Doug Ute, live at halftime. Hand off the left side across the 40 and pushing the pile out to the 42-yard line. On the play is David White. Nice game as we take a look at your Toyota keys of the game. For Westerville Central, no will, no way. In other words, contain Will Smith. Jacob's Ladder. They need a strong game from Mr. Harris on the outside. So far, he's not touched the football, but his brother has. For Dublin Coffman, got to have heart. They've got to have a strong game from Quinn Hart at quarterback. And no pardon for Grant. Don't take sympathy on this guy just because he's taking over as the quarterback. And Glazer knows that. He's going to have to play strong at quarterback for the Warhawks to have a chance on this one. Second down and short. Nothing fancy. And this is the power football, Jeff, that they can use along with that little quick passing game out to the flat that will move the sticks for another Home Appliance Solutions first down.
Yeah, really good job by the middle of that offensive line, Randy. And you mentioned they're a little bit retooled in there. Carson Miller, 55, out there as they move to center. You saw Dylan Halter, number 56. He was the pulling guard that led the play right up the middle. He was looking for a white jersey to get after, and a great first down play.
Halter likes investing in sports science. Started at right tackle last year. Keep it on the ground. Oops, we slide into second base right at the 45-yard line. White lost his footing. And we should mention, great facility here. And Jeff, along the far side of the field, too, they've done a little redoing of the stands, if you will, on the visitor side.
Yeah, they redid the entire visiting side over the summer, tore it down all the way to the bottom, and really expanded that with the idea being that they're going to be able to host more playoff games and events here in the stadium. There's the Westerville Central fan base right there at the 50-yard line. Good to see them all here tonight.
Gorgeous stands, too. Glad they picked green. On a second down play. Down to the 40-yard line. They'll pick up 5 on the second down play off the left side. That time Hart on the keeper, and the hit made on the play by Mario Williams, big number 27 on your screen, coming up from the secondary against Bradley at 5 tackles, an interception, a tackle for loss, and 2 pass breaks up, all in number 3 when it comes to their third game of the schedule. There's Garen Stokes, the head coach, who is in his second year. 71-31 during his tenure at Minster, state titles in D6 and D7. One runner-up finish as well, too, in D7 as well, too, for the 37-year-old.
Heard some really good things about this man's football IQ. He really understands the game.
And the handoff again. Look at that, just off the left side. Great job by Doherty and Cavanis. As White will get the first down inside the 35-yard line, and that would make a nice statement for them, I would think, with the passing they saw early. Now to show people the run game as well.
Absolutely. You like a young running back like that. One of the things that I like to see is his ability to keep his pads low as he goes through the line, Randy. A lot of young running backs are tippy-toeing their way through, trying to look over traffic to see what's there. This was a good forward lean by David White.
You told me run into contact, and that's what he's doing. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Not this time. They'll pop it in the flat. Pass is complete, and oh my goodness, the H-back. Christian Whirling gets to touch the football. Dear diary, 6'2", 205, and a sophomore. So he gets a chance to touch the ball. Has not touched it yet as a running back. So they get a nice gain on that particular play with 41 seconds left to go. And just a reminder, watching Friday Night Rivals is easy and convenient. Every game is streaming live on the ABC6 News app, the ABC6 YouTube page, the CWColumbus.com, and, of course, right here on your television. And it's all powered by Kroger Great Lakes Distribution Center. Mark the ball to the 24-yard line. Another Home Appliance Solutions first down. So we're under the minute mark in stanza number 1.
Big, heavy set out the right side.
And that's the side they go to, and White just puts his head down. This is smash mouth football at its best.
Well, there are no disguises right here. I mean, they came out with a heavy set. It looked like everybody was trying to get into an elevator out there, and that basically it says, guys, we're coming at you. You can put as many white jerseys over there as you want to, but we're going to blow you up. And it looks like that's going to be the end of quarter number 1.
Yeah, with 19 seconds left to go, they're heading down to the other end of the field. Well, we mentioned the battle. Could Westerville Central get to the outside, and could Coffman get to the inside? Who's going to control the trenches? So far, it has been Dublin Coffman, and with that, they've got a 7-0 lead after one stanza. Second quarter coming up right here on the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
It's prep really.
Warm rocks welcome to the Dublin City Schools class of 2022. Inductees.
Okay.
Second and 2 from the 16.
Seven nothing after one at Dublin Coffman. Time now for the Music Go Round Coach's Corner. Here's what Westerville Central head coach Ed Miley had to say earlier about tonight's matchup against Dublin Coffman and his thoughts about his wide receiver, Jacob Harris.
Well, it really comes down to the line of scrimmage. We had a great week this week. Our kids prepped really well. So I think they deserve to go out and play well tonight. But if we play well along the line of scrimmage, it'll be a good night for us. If we struggle there, it could be a long night. Well, he's a big athlete, He blocks well. He runs deep routes. He's a great possession guy. There's nothing he really can't do. Against Bradley, he caught a short one and went like 50 yards. So he's pretty special.
Thank you, Coach. Music Go Round can help with all your instrument needs at 2630 Bethel Road in Gahanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. I'll keep it on the ground that time, Jeff, on the first play of the second quarter. They hope to get the first down. Michael Anderson getting some playing time now. And big number 1 gets a chance to carry it, and they think they have enough for the first down, but the officials don't seem to agree as they're going to mark the ball down at the 15-yard line. Once again, we're inside the red zone here for the Rocks for the second time tonight. It's the Bathfitter red zone. Transform your bathroom in one day. Get started at bathfitter.com.
Well, this is a big stop for Westerville Central. They have not yet been able to stop this Dublin Rocks offense.
3rd down and 1. And White will get 4 and get the first down inside the 12, near the 11, and keeps the drive alive. Again, you talk about the eroding process right now for Dublin Coffman, just trying to wear down that middle of the Warhawk defense.
Yeah, the right tackle out there, Curtis McCollum, number 66, leading the charge in there. Dylan Halter, we mentioned at the right guard. Really good lead blocks by those guys. And Christian Whirling, who found the football, as you mentioned, in quarter number 1. They finally threw the ball to the H-back. He's your tight end in there leading, and that's the Hogs up front, man. Those guys are the ones that get it done. Impressive group of offensive linemen.
260, 230, 280, 280, and 290. Built a lot like us. On a first down play, it is White again on a BGSU first down, spinning, and he gets inside the 2 near the 1. But for the first time, we see a hanky tossed onto the field at the 3-yard line. Our referee tonight is Chris George. He is 35 years of age. His brother Ryan, who's 33, is the back judge tonight. Chris, what do you got? Holding is the call.
The penalty is holding called against Coffman.
Boy, really good job of blocking up front, but obviously caught somebody grabbing some jersey.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
The other people wearing stripes out there tonight, your umpire Adrian Johnson, your linesman Andrew Browning, the line judge is Paul Baltaser, and the 33-year-old baby brother who's cuter than his older brother, Ryan George, is the back judge. And Chris, Ryan told me to say that, so take that up at the family reunion if you will. Move the ball back to the 15-yard line. It's from the spot of the infraction.
Really the first negative play that the Rocks have had here in the beginning of the football game. Checking in, Michael Anderson.
It's going to be about first down and about 14. To the wide side, Anderson gets it down inside the 11 near the 10-yard line. Anderson wore number 6 last year, 5'8", 160. Had 8 carries for 11 yards coming into this contest. He likes playing drums, fishing, cooking, making money at math. And he's a BBU leader as well, too.
He also likes getting out on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Does a nice job out there, finding the hole, getting himself going north and south. Obviously, a little bit of a change of pace in that backfield. David White, a little bigger back, and Michael Anderson gives you a little bit of that get and go stuff.
But White now is going as a wide out to the bottom of the set. So they move things around a little bit. Empty backfield for now for Quinn Hart on a 2nd down and 9. Calls his own number, gets the block, and he will take the diagonal route into the end zone for another Ramos Roofing touchdown. But wait, there's a hanky at the 17-yard line, and it's a procedural call, so he could be coming back.
They may not have had enough people on the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, if it was a false start, it would have been called before the play, but if it's a hanky with that at the end of the play, that only means not enough on the line of scrimmage. Chris, what do you got?
Illegal procedure. 5 men in the backfield, number 17. That's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's another way of saying not enough men on the line.
Well, sometimes you get too smart for yourself out there, and it's maybe a formation that they don't run all the time, and a little bit of miscommunication, not getting up on the line to have the right number of people on the line. Too many men in the backfield. Good call by the officials. And that's something that Dublin Coffman, throughout the first 4 weeks of the season, they've had little mistakes like that have cost them in some of their games.
So Ramos Roofing is still on the scene, but they've left the shingles in the truck for now, moving the ball back to the 16-yard line. So what was first in 14 is now 2nd and 14 and a half. And it's White right up the middle of that defense into the end zone. They never brought him down. Boy, ball security is huge for him. The way he cradles that football, takes it in for the touchdown, and that indeed is a Ramos Roofing touchdown. Get your free estimate on a roof by calling or texting 614-761-ROOF.
He runs like a fullback, Randy, like this kid at 6 foot, 185 pounds, and just a sophomore. Look at how he's got that ball in this clutch. Man, that is awesome. He's got his hand over the edge of the football, got it up underneath his armpit. He's not going to let anybody take that ball from him, right up the middle.
Matt Schramm, the junior, remains perfect on extra points so far this season, 5'10", 165. Also had 7 touchbacks on kickoffs coming into this contest. And Coach Stokes says he's not a soccer kid. He's tough. He's a football player who's also a kicker as well, too. Big score for that man as White takes it in for the touchdown. That is his first touchdown for Davin on the ground. And with that being said, and with the extra point now, it is now 14-0. Time now for the Music Go Round Coach's Corner. We spoke earlier tonight to Dublin Coffman head coach Garen Stokes to get his thoughts on his team and the contest tonight, and one big man on that defensive line, Will Smith.
We're going to have to play really hard, take care of football, come up with a big stop here and there defensively, and try to create some explosive plays somehow. He's one of the best, man. We're glad he's on our team. I know that. Great kid, great person, great football player.
Music Go Round can help with all your instrument needs at 2630 Bethel Road in Gahanna inside the Stone Ridge Plaza. And they made it look pretty easy on that drive, especially on that touchdown jaunt by White, who takes it right up the gut for the touchdown to make it 14-0. The return starting from inside the 2-yard line for the Warhawks. Undercut after a 25-yard return out to the 26-yard line. So that is where they will take over with the Warhawks. Williams on the return. And here's your scoring summary, brought to you by Kitchen Saver. 11 plays, 66 yards, 6.5 minutes. That's the kind that builds a lot of confidence for a team, especially mid-season, as they take it in for the touchdown. And that scoring summary brought to you by Kitchen Saver. Get your dream kitchen in under a week with a free quote at kitchensaver.com.
Good special teams play that time by the cornerback, Sammy Maloney. Just a junior, number 27, down there to make the play.
First and 10 from the 26 now on this Bowling Green State University first down. Oh, what a corral on the pitch that time. And what a move to get across the 35 out to the 40-yard line. I'm telling you what, that was a great job that time by Jaden Gwynn, who was injured last week. So while his cousin is not performing, Jason, at quarterback, Jaden is in at halfback, picks up 15 on the play. He's now rushed for 178 yards on the season.
What a catch out there. That pitch was thrown way behind him. Maybe to go up there with one hand and bring it down, and that's the first touch of the game for Jaden Gwynn, number 21, and it represents the first down of the game for the Westerville Central Warhawks.
The son of Justin Gwynn, tossed to the far side of the field, around the corner, across the 45. Again, trying to spread it out a little bit, and also give the Rock defense something to think about as well, too. As that time we got a flag on the play after the run on the play by Aaron Gilbert.
Yeah, they're going to get Jacob Harris for holding on the perimeter. The big wide receiver had a fistful of green.
Not money, Rob.
No, it wasn't the kind you go to the concession stand with. Here's the conversation. There's the signal. Easy call.
Chris, what do you got out there? Okay.
Holding. Offense, number 5. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Watch the top of your screen here. The right side of your screen, I should say. The left. Other right. Sorry, guys. Watch the fistful of jersey right there. Yeah, now you're going to get a better look at it here from up above, and you can see basically the tackle that was made by Jacob Harris on the perimeter. Hard to disguise that when the side judge is right there in your neighborhood.
Jeff, it's only a penalty if you get caught.
It truly is.
All right. First down, but the ball back at the 34-yard line. They need to get it to the 49 across midfield of the Rock, so they need 17. They've got 3 chances to do it. And they'll get a couple yards. They'll burrow their way up to about the 36-yard line as Gwynn on the carry. Jaden, again, mentioned the fact he was the 5th guy to start at running back last year as they were trying to find that elixir. His first start was in Week 10 last year when we did the game on Friday Night Rivals. Again, his numbers coming into this contest. Had a great game in week number 9 off the bench last year, and it's kind of vaulted him to where he is. Although last year, I think midseason had a hip pointer and came back 2 weeks later and started playing some defense, then matriculated over to the offensive side of things. Picked up 2. They need 15 more. Sometimes the jersey is your enemy. That time it got him from behind at the 40.
I think they're going to have to get the ball in the hands of 21 as many times as possible. And Randy, as you mentioned, still yet to get the ball out to Jacob Harris, the wide receiver, the big guy at 6'5".
Carson Cox, who has a birthday on Saturday, likes baseball and science, the inside linebacker. His mom played soccer at OSU. I think his dad was Corey Cox, who played baseball in Ohio State that I covered as well, too. Covered their games for about a decade. Been kicked out of every decent job at Central Ohio.
I mentioned 1 first down so far for the Warhawks coming into the game, but right after that first down came the big penalty, and so there's an opportunity on 3rd and 10.
Too tight but wide to the bottom, if you will. And Laser looks, middle screen set up, and right there, the defense into the arms of Ethan Burns. Check that, 24 for Coffman is Austin Jenkins, the linebacker, who also can play as the weak side defensive end. 23 tackles and 5 tackles for loss.
What a read by this young man, number 24. He felt the pressure not being there. 24 is going to just read, and look at the tackle here. That, again, is excellent film study in preparation, reading what the offense is doing, and it creates a 4th down.
Guys we mentioned can play at linebacker as well, too. Sister played lacrosse, brother plays football, like science and pick up basketball games. And a punting situation. And Roanoke made it interesting. Fair catch called for and corralled back at the 17-yard line. So that's where the Rocks will take over. Up by 2 touchdowns halfway through quarter number 2. We'll step aside and take a ride now with Toyota.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Danielle.
And we're back on the road again in the adventurous new Toyota RAV4. Now, we can tell you why RAV4 is the best-selling SUV.
But we'd rather show you.
Let's go.
First off, RAV4 is one of 14 different Toyotas available as an electrified vehicle.
At 40 mpg, it's got a driving range of 580 miles.
Saving you thousands in fuel costs over the next 5 years.
And every new RAV4 comes with 2-year no-cost maintenance included.
Toyota. Let's go places.
First and 10 now for the Rocks, and a quick pop on a little bubble screen. They'll get it up to the 20-yard line, so they'll pick up a couple on the play. Second down and 8. Pass is complete on the play to Amari Valerio Hudson, his third catch. Jeff, how come you and I have never been on a road trip in a Toyota like that? 25 years. I think it's time.
I think we're ready. You want to go west or east?
Yes, I want to go west.
I'll go east.
I want to go. Why do you want to go east?
Because you're going west.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm listening to Horace Greeley, and you're listening to somebody else. Hart going, what's up? Is he trying to get the information? You know, Garen Stokes now has that scenario where he has a couple guys there that signal in plays, a couple guys with dummy signals along the sidelines. Second down, let's call it 8. Looking on the quick pop, got his man, pass is complete. Valerio Hudson for the fourth time has it out across the 25-yard line. And this guy is not the biggest target at 5'11 and 150, but now Jeffy's up to 18 catches already, and he had 6 of those against Centerville for 112 yards.
Yeah, what he's done out here, though, Randy, really good is to read that defense, felt the soft zone coverage, set himself up underneath it, and was able to give his quarterback a good target to be able to throw to. And Quinn Hart was on time and on target.
Now, if this is Stokes football right now, you would think they're just going to beat it up the middle for a gain of a couple, move the sticks, and methodically work their way up the field with a 3rd and 1.5. And they do, and it's Cox, and pushes the pile out to the 31-yard line. Cox now with 22 carries for Carson Cox on the campaign. He's got the first down. Again, he had a touchdown last week. Has one this week. And now, after he gets the short yardage, come to the sidelines. And the Griffey approach for Garen Stokes with his baseball cap.
Yeah, he's your 220-pound short yardage fullback linebacker that goes in there. And again, no disguising what you're doing. When you bring that heavy set in and you bring number 6 in to be able to play that tailback spot, number 8, who plays that linebacker position, you know who's going to get the ball.
Another Bowling Green State University first down, and Hart on the keeper up to the 33-yard line. By the way, Hart 5 of 5 passing in this contest. He makes a lot of decisions, Jeff, at the line of scrimmage, too, and that's something for a guy that's a junior in his first year starting at quarterback for the Rocks.
Yeah, very accurate tonight. 5 out of 5 came into the game with 51% completion percentage for the season. And, Randy, here in week number 5, this is kind of the dividing line between contenders and pretenders. You mentioned 16 in each region get into the playoffs. This is a critical game, I believe, for both of these programs to position themselves as they get ready to go into conference play.
And for a lot of teams, non-league versus league, too, starting next weekend. There's the quick little hook pattern, and it's caught that time by Hudson again. So a young guy that also had 5 catches against Jerome for 70 yards, showing a lot of promise. And again, he is just a sophomore catching the wideout pass. And again, the guy tossing it to him, just a junior. And the hit made by that guy, too, Mr. Williams. Mario, again, just a junior.
Got to believe they're trying to set up, not necessarily on this play, but to pump it out there and hit the go route because they've thrown that ball underneath that zone all night long.
They need 2. Nothing fancy. This time, White will move the pile out to around the 43-yard line and have enough for the first down. So David White, just very efficient on the ground, and not that burst of speed type guy. He's willing to mix it up, something that's rare to see in a sophomore.
Yeah, a lot of credit goes to the young man for running the ball, but look at the push, the ownership of that offensive line, the trenches down there, and the Green has come out there and decided they are going to take control of the point of attack.
Another BGSU first down from me to you. Straight back is Hart going long. That's what you talked about. Downfield, in stride, makes the catch inside the 15-yard line. Ty Young playing like an old man. They're getting behind everybody. That guy who likes pro sports, music, movies, history, and sports medicine makes the catch good for 45 yards.
Yeah, I don't have a direct line to call plays down there, but I saw this being set up. They had the ball underneath the zone all night. You get those safeties coming up a little bit to try and support the run, and you're able to find Ty Young going down the field with a huge play.
And it's inside the 20-yard line, so they're inside the Bathfitter red zone as well, too. Transform your bathroom in one day. Get started at bathfitter.com. Rocks looking for more. Hart has plenty of it and shows it by going straight in to the teeth of that defense inside the 6-yard line near the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it was run all the way for the quarterback, Quinn Hart, coming into the game, averaging just over 4 yards per try. As you look across at the head football coach of Westerville Central, Ed Miley. First year, followed Brent Morrison, who is now an assistant coach at Orange. after 4 seasons. And Miley actually came from Orange, where he was there for 8 seasons.
So it'll be inside the 6 down to the 5-yard line. They need to get the ball inside the 2 near the 1 in this Bathfitter red zone. Let's see if it's Cox time again. Carson's back in there, and I think they want a timeout because they were running out of seconds on the play clock, so they burned one with 1:03 left to go. We'll step aside as well, too, right here on the CW Columbus. Well, the play clock had evaporated to 0, and just before that, a timeout was taken by the Rocks so they could regroup. And, Jeff, when you look at the number of plays dominated by Coffman so far in the first half, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And look at the number of offensive plays so far. Dublin Coffman with 26. Westerville Central with only 10 offensive plays. Sometimes that stat can be misleading. Tonight it is not.
2nd and 4 from the 5. Hart will keep, put his head down, get to the 2, then is stood up from there and pushed back. So he gets near the sticks, but I don't think he had enough for the first down. He's grabbing onto his ankle for dear life. Was Dalton Holbrook on the play, the weak side linebacker, who's also a good baseball player, like science, 6 feet, 200, and a junior.
A classic tackle coming in there and standing up the quarterback, Quinn Hart, not allowing him to be able to stretch for that touchdown.
Going to say the 3-yard line is where his forward progress was stopped. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 3. It's Cox time, backs his way. He might have the first down. So that'll stop the clock there if he's got the ball inside the 1-yard line. Well, let's sort the pile and see where they place it, and they do place it inside the 1. So now the clock will start again. You have to be cognizant of that if you're the Rocks now. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage for a late attempt at a
that's mismanagement of the clock, frankly, Randy. That is a mistake on the sidelines.
Timeout.
You got to recognize the world in Westerville.
Westerville
Central burned their first timeout. They didn't have enough players defensively there.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Dublin Coffman trying to go. You know, but Randy, with 2 timeouts remaining and only down to the 20s on the game clock, you got to be thinking about making sure you don't put yourself in an awkward position.
And remember, who has the option in the second half as well, too. It goes back to the Rocks, too. The biggest plays, the biggest schools, the best high school football. You get to see it first thanks to First Scores on Fox 28, sponsored by Spectrum. Catch it tonight at 10:45. Only, and I say only, on Fox 28, except no substitutes. Get it? From the Real Team at Fox 28. Real Team showed up for the Buckeyes last weekend, didn't they?
Well, they really did, Randy. And I mentioned that stat that's kind of misleading at times. Arkansas State is a football team that Ohio State unfortunately gave them something like 68 offensive plays. The Buckeyes only had the ball for maybe 45 or 50 plays. And, you know, Ohio State dominated throughout that entire game. But one of the things I've noticed with Ohio State's defense is that they are aggressive. They're doing a really good job of keeping people out of their end zone, only giving up 4 field goals in that game. But you got to get off the field and get the ball back into the hands of that high-powered offense.
There's the picture on the bottom line of your screen. 20 ticks left in the half. 1st and goal inside the 1-yard line. Cox time for a second touchdown on the ground. Sure, why not? Takes it in. Another Ramos roofing touchdown. Get your free estimate on a roof right here by calling or texting 614-761-ROOF. Second touchdown on the night for Carson Cox, his 8th on the campaign.
Look at the block on the outside by Will Smith Jr., number 91. He's kind of leading the way out there, and he created a lot of space. Again, really good job by that offensive line and getting the big boy in there to kind of move some people around. And Will Smith at 6'3", 265.
Extra point time for Matt Schramm again. Drills that one as well, too. 21-0. So let me get this straight. Carson Cox has carried the ball like 23 times for 65 yards and has 8 touchdowns. Those are Logan-esque stats.
You know who their stats of is Pete Johnson.
Yes.
But we used to get down inside that 20-yard line. We'd go into Woody's robust offense. 3 running backs across the way. Pete was in the middle. The 2 tailbacks would be on the side, and we were there simply for window dressing. Let there be no doubt about it. We were required to block, but we were not going to touch the football inside the 20-yard line. That was going to become time only for Pete Johnson to be able to score, and he was one of the best in the country at doing it.
He was the bull, and the other team's defense was the china shop, and that was the end of that tune. 21-0, 16.3 left on the clock. Well, if you're Westerville Central and you're Ed Miley, you got plenty to coach them up about at halftime, down by 3 scores, and the fact that your defense is going to be out there to start the second half as well, too. So Westerville Central came in with a mark of 1-3. Dublin Coffman 2-2, and Central played that tough schedule of North, South, Bradley, and Upper Arlington. And there's your Kitchen Saver scoring drive, 11 plays and taking it all but 18 yards to the length of the field and doing it in less than 6 minutes. And just a reminder, you can get your dream kitchen in under a week with a free quote at kitchensaver.com. Schramm, the man again with the boot. This time not as deep, and his shortest kick of them all will start from the 13-yard line up to around the 24, so that's where the ball will come back now. Under 10 ticks left to go in the first half for Central. Coming up, it's the Door Depot halftime show here from the OHSAA Executive Director, Doug Ute. State of the Union interview, if you will, on high school athletics, plus scores from around Central Ohio. It's all coming up on the Door Depot halftime show. And Jeff may sing as well, too. You never know, too.
I can promise you that will not occur.
All right, 2 out of 3 then.
Fast-moving game here in the first half. A lot of running, not many incomplete passes.
What do you do right now if you're Westerville Central with the last 10 seconds?
Man, this is a real challenge. You know, they got off to a great start this season with a win against their neighbor, Westerville North, 23-20.
On a hook and lateral play.
That then loss, you know, to South, Bradley, UA. All of the teams that they've played so far this year, cutting into tonight, are 3-1 football teams, so they've had a murderous schedule.
And the opponents they play the rest of the schedule are 17-7 as we speak right now. They're going to keep it on the ground with the handoff. It's a nice gainer, but the DBs are playing about 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. They'll get it up to the 35-yard line. And that's near the sticks and a first down. And, in fact, that will be a BGSU first down. And 3 seconds left to go. So unless you burn a timeout.
Timeout. Westerville Central.
Which they did.
That's their second charge timeout.
Why not?
Well, they've been known for gadget plays.
Yeah.
It went viral. Their hook and lateral play to win the game at the end. And who knows what they'll come up with. Watch again. I want you to see the block on the right side of your screen on Will Smith Jr. They took him out of the play. He was crashing inside. And that's one of the things you do with a big defensive lineman. If they wants to go that way, it's like putting the bull in the barn. Just keep pushing wherever he wants to go. Watch Will Smith here. Boom. Take him right down inside. Don't let him get to your back.
And remember, the guy running the ball here also is just a sophomore. We mentioned Jason Gwynn, his cousin, was supposed to start at quarterback. They're both sophomores. They were born 3 hours apart on the same day in the same hospital. Jason and Jaden, that's why I call them twin cousins, if you will. And Jason, because of an injury, unable to perform tonight at quarterback. So that man, number 4, Grant Glazer, who started beginning of last year, gets the nod. See if they go deep here. Look at the DBs. They are 50 yards off the line of scrimmage. And that's Gwynn. He'll get about 10 or 15 before the curtain comes down at around the 44-yard line. No flags on the field, and that will end the first half. So an exciting first half and great execution by Dublin Coffman. Garen Stokes was concerned about that early weeks. Jeff, I don't think he needs to be concerned about it tonight.
No, I don't think so. And like the aggressiveness, the attacking style, the physicality of this Dublin Coffman football team here in week number 5 has been impressive.
Your Door Depot halftime show is just around the corner. The Rocks looking to go 3-2. They have 3 touchdowns. That man has 1. Carson Cox has 2 more. And at the break, thanks to the Schramm extra points, they lead 21-0. This is week number 5 of Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College, right here on the CW Columbus. Sir, I gave him spare. guess. Okay. I guess Jeff departed. Coming towards me here.
Oh.
Yep.
Oop.
And we're going to go ahead and give you some slack. And I'm going to, can we flip it the other way? I was going to go ahead and put the earpiece, flip the headsets the opposite way if you can. Yeah, that way we can go ahead. And that way we can hide the thing underneath your. There we go. Put this here and put it over your shoulder like that. So what are we talking about? What's going on at the OHSAA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Week 5.
Right.
What, fall sports?
Fall sports. Sure. Yep. How's that?
The better?
Go ahead and say something.
Is that better?
There you go. I have my Guy Lewis flag tonight up here. Huh. You know you're old when you bring your sweat towel. Thanks for making the climb here. I forgot what this was like.
What's up there?
Well, they were playing rhythmic music, so I did 2 steps to every one. I thought that was cool, and I got to the top, and I died.
It's not as bad as Obet's. You ever been to Obet's?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
If that was like 6 feet taller, you'd have to have an elevator, I guess.
Oh,
by
is that
code
right?
standards.
Oh,
yeah.
one
was
foot?
It 1 foot?
Oh,
Dean says
wow.
there's 1 foot. They would have to have it.
Oh, Lord. That was smart.
It's the DeSales situation, except on steroids. So that's the same setup on the
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Except
know
it's
that.
on steroids. It's wider and higher, but the press box is identical.
Yeah. Good view, nice box, but man.
We've had 2 close ones, and we'll have 3.
Oh, 9.
And welcome back to the Door Depot halftime report. We are at Dublin Coffman High School, where at the break they lead tonight over Westerville Central to the tune of 21-0. Randy Reinhardt, high atop, and I mean high atop Dublin Coffman High School here with the legendary, the infamous, and the borderline executive director of the OHSAA, Doug Ute. Doug, thanks for joining us here at halftime.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great game, great night.
Now, you started in the second quarter and got up here in time for halftime,
Oh,
right?
what a climb that is, man. Wow.
But it's worth the climb to reach the zenith and talk to a guy like this, too. Doug, this has to be an exciting time for the OHSAA. Fall sports are blooming big time, are they not?
Oh, they are. You know, this is week 5. And we've had 5 wonderful Friday nights. Beautiful weather, good crowds all around the state. You know, listening to different athletic directors talk about their crowds and good games. And it's what high school sports should be all about.
And it's more than just football in the fall, is it not?
Absolutely. You know, we're getting close already to our golf tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. And you know, this fall just seems to be flying. But yeah, absolutely. There's field hockey and volleyball, and I've been out to some volleyball matches, some soccer matches, some football, and you know, it's good to see the kids. I don't know if it's post-COVID yet. We can say that because we still have a few games canceled each week for COVID, but it's good to see the kids in the crowd playing in front of good environments.
Well, what's new or what's on the horizon right now for the OHSAA? Anything new?
Well, you know, we're excited to announce. We'll be announcing, and I'll make it on your show, that we'll be at Wittenberg for our boys volleyball this spring, our first ever state tournament there. And so we're excited about that. Randy, there was 85 teams last year in the Coaches Association. We're over 160 right now. And so the growth of that program, we can see that. And girls wrestling, the neat thing for girls wrestling, we've already announced this, that those young ladies get to wrestle in the shot with the young men there. And so, you know, don't want to get ahead of ourselves and get in the winter and the spring yet, but we're excited about our fall tournaments, and just a lot of good things going on in Ohio.
Let's talk about football again then. 16 teams will make the playoffs. Do you like that? Does it give them more opportunity, or does it dilute the field a little bit?
It doesn't seem to dilute it. You know, football's an early sport that not everybody gets in.
Right.
And last year I heard a lot of positive things from teams 14, 15, 16. We had a 16 beat a 1. I mean, it's not going to happen every year, but think about this. Milan Edison beats Bellevue, and I think they're probably 10 miles apart and in the same league. And a 16 seed beating a 1, and which created a backdoor rivalry with Sandusky Perkins week 2, and that's what it should be all about. But you know, I heard from people who lost 40-6 and appreciated the opportunity for their kids to spend another week. And it's not just the football, it's the bands, it's the cheerleaders, and it's the crowd that gets that extra week too. So it's kind of neat.
Do you still have that zest and fire like you did 30 or 40 years ago for high school athletics?
Oh, more so. Absolutely more so. 30 years ago, I was running around as an athletic director. You know, didn't know what the heck I was doing, really, because, you know, these nights like this, it's hard to enjoy things because you're always doing something. But absolutely, I have a huge passion for education-based athletics. It's why, you know, it shaped who I was when I was younger, shaped who I am right now.
Well, Doug, thank you for all you do for our student athletes. Thank you for breaking the news here on the CW Columbus. Anything else you want to break? Anything else you want to share?
No, just want to share that we appreciate all you do to promote high school athletics. You've been doing it for quite a while. You don't look that way because you look very young, my friend, but we do appreciate you and Jeff on Friday nights out promoting high school, the good parts of what's going on in high school athletics. So thank you very much for what you do.
Doug, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Doug Youth, the executive director of the OHSAA. It's time now to step aside and check out our Scholar Athletes of the Week.
Ohio Education Association is proud to recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athletes of the Week. Liam Shaughnessy is a track and field athlete for Dublin Coffman High School. He's all district in cross country and a state qualifier in track. Liam has a 4.3 GPA. Max Sprouse has lettered 3 times in football at Westerville Central High School. He plays violin in the orchestra and earned a high 5 for the AP Physics 1 exam. Max has a 4.7 GPA. Congratulations to these outstanding Ohio Education Association Scholar Athletes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What? Okay, that's interesting. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, they've been coming on. Wow.
Please give a round of applause for our band and color.
Wow.
Michael
Okay.
Jessica Kelly, Christy Schaefer-May, Kristen McInich, Charlie Fedoric, Reed Robershaw, and Misty Knox. We also extend a very special thanks to our principal, Ms. Singer, our athletic director, Mr. I, and the entire central administrative staff. This is Mike Toad saying thanks for staying to enjoy our show. We here at Westerville Central don't need to be the best damn band in the land. We just want to be your biggest thrill from the...
Yeah, saw that.
Welcome back to the Door Depot Halftime Report. Our score at halftime of week number 5, Dublin Coffman blanking Westerville Central 21-0. Time now to check out scores from other games at this hour across Central Ohio, and nothing going yet between Berlin and Davidson. Both teams 2-2. Berlin's 2 losses by a total of 7 points, both coming off close losses last week. Other contests, a little bit of a surprise. Westerville South, we saw them the last week, and we saw Big Walnut 2 weeks ago. PW remains unbeaten. Westerville South escaped with a win last week on FNR. That's probably was the first time South had allowed more than 14 points in a game, and you can see it's 10-7 there. Olentangy on top of Central Crossing, 17-7. Central Crossing coming out with a 41-zip loss to Grove City. Olentangy fell to Orange 47-17. They're 2-2 and allowing 31.25 points per contest so far. The Hard Road Classic. It's been hard to score so far in that one. South is still looking for the first W for them of the campaign. Kilbourne at 2-2. They escaped Canal Winchester 9-7. Seattle won last year's meeting 36-7. And earlier, yesterday, Independence got by Eastmore 28-23. 76ers really coming on this season. Eastmore coming off a 22-zip defeat. Marion Franklin. Independence thrashed West 64-8. Upper Arlington, bit of surprise here. The Cruisers on top. Groveport Madison has won 2 straight, outscoring their foes 62-13 in those games. UA 3-1. Their only loss coming to Pick North in week 3. 18 is the most points UA's given up in a game, but Groveport threatening to get more than that. They're at the half. Cruisers up by 6. Logan Elm and Circleville, you can see the contest there. Both sides 3-1. Logan Elm won last year's meeting 19-0. Logan Elm has matched last year's win total, and Circleville has exceeded their number from last year. Their mark, 14-0 at the half. Now this surprises me as well too. Gahanna Lincoln blanking Pick Central. Pick Central, a couple tough games. They're coming off a huge win though last week over North, 14-7. Gahanna Lincoln enters the game 3-1. Their defense has allowed just 43 points through 4 games. Their only loss was to Centerville, who's number 5 in Division 1. So that's that tally late in the first half, 10-0 in that contest. We move on to other scores. Thames Valley, we'll see them in a couple weeks at Amanda. They lead Liberty Union by an extra point. Both teams 2-2. Thames Valley won last year's meeting in dominant fashion, 38-7. And Westerville North and Delaware Hayes Pacers are running away with this one on top of the Warriors, 35-0. North has won 3 straight since falling to Westerville Central, but in trouble in this one. North has shut out 2 opponents this year. Hayes fell to Big Walnut last week at 3-1. First-year head coach Ryan Montgomery from Delaware has already matched last year's win total, so 35-zip the tally in that one. Approaching halftime. Here it is indeed halftime in week number 5. Coffman on top of Westerville Central 21-0. Take a look at the highlights and the stats from the first 24 minutes when you come back right here to the CW Columbus. And welcome back to the Door Depot halftime report. At the break, it is Dublin Coffman on top of Westerville Central 21-0 here in week number 5. Randy Reinhardt alongside Jeff Logan. An entertaining first half. We saw defense and offense, and the bad news for Warhawk fans, we saw most of that from Dublin Coffman tonight in the first half.
Yeah, they really have dominated from an offensive standpoint, and right now it doesn't look like Westerville Central able to get anything going from an offensive side. We saw kind of a freaky thing, though, happen in the first half, Randy. That whole thing went really fast, but neither team has an incomplete passes. We'll look at those stats in a moment.
Yeah, 13 of 13 combined for the two teams in the first half. Plenty of highlights from the first half. We'll take a look at the scoring plays. Carson Cox is a name to remember. He's going to score 2 different times.
Designated scorer. This time it's Devin White who gets the opportunity, the workload back there.
And he is the middle part of the Carson Cox sandwich, if you will. Here's Cox again getting his second touchdown, his 8th on the campaign, and plenty of defense in this contest from the Rocks. They combine the offense and the defense, and they shut down the interior running game for the Warhawks.
Well, we talked about the defense being disruptive, and that's exactly what this is all about. And there's your boy Carson Cox in there, number 8, making plays, and Will Smith Jr. right in there to mess that play up. And watch the play downfield. Good read once again by the Dublin Rocks. I've been very impressed, Randy, with David White. He's been solid in this football game. If you look at the numbers, the Rocks are dominating in terms of total yards. You can't have 69 total yards and expect to have much of an offense going in there. And again, without the starting quarterback that really was your guy having to go to the backup, they really don't have any kind of a personality on offense at this stage.
Yeah, Jason Gwynn out of this contest because of an injury, but Harris, the wideout, has not seen the football in the first half. That is something they'll have to rectify. They wanted to win the outside. So far, they haven't won the inside or the outside. And for Coffman, they're the kind of team, Jeff, that can wear you down in the second half.
Well, and with one Gwynn missing, they got to get the ball in the hands of the other Gwynn. You know, that's been the best of their offense so far. And I would look for them, down 21-0. Running the ball is not going to get you into the football game, but you got to get some momentum going and some confidence built up offensively.
Can you win with one win, or can you have plenty of heart if you're the Rocks? We'll find out in the second half. 21-0. Coffman leads this one. We'll take a break. Second half just around the corner. You're watching the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Friday Night Rivals, presented by Columbus State Community College here on the CW Columbus. Thank you.
Central, no score. Old Jersey Berlin, 13. Hilliard Davidson, 14. Groveport Madison, 13. Upper Arlington, 7.
Week number 5 of high school football action finds it at Dublin Coffman High School as Westerville Central has been blanked so far by the home Rocks by a count of 21-0. Glad to have you aboard, Randy Reinhardt, Jeff Logan, and Jake Stewart up in the press box here. And I tell you what, they have had outstanding music here tonight in this contest. And it would not be football without the marching band, right? And I got to tell you something. The Westerville Central Marching Band is one of the best in the area. We are happy to put the Music Around Marching Band spotlight on them now. I'll tell you something. We heard the best music, Jeff, of any game we've had this season, I think, here between the press box and down on the field. They were playing 25 or 6-4 by Chicago as well, too, which Chicago's my favorite band. And the music has been tremendous, and it's been a sweet melody for the Rocks in the first 2 quarters. Now, if you're Westerville Central and you're Ed Miley, what did you tell your team at the break as you go in that huddle right now and try to change things for quarter number 3?
Well, they might like some of that 25 to 6-4, some of those scores to be able to take on their side of the ledger. They're trailing 21-0 at this stage. And one of the things that they need to know is that this first drive in this game, because Coffman is going to get the ball first, they deferred. This is going to be a statement drive, I believe, for Westerville Central. If you're going to come out and make something happen, it has to be on this first drive.
Meanwhile, if you're the Rocks and Garen Stokes, you have to be happy with your team's performance. He's not the kind of guy that's going to smile all the time, but still, I think he's found very little to coach him up about at halftime.
Well, the improvement of this football team from a year ago to today is obvious. And, you know, one of the things that he talked about is that they really worked hard over the wintertime. It took a little bit of attention on his part and the coaching staff's part to really get the kind of culture that they were looking for in the weight room. And he's a coach that believes that the weight room is the path to success, and this is a much stronger football team.
It's worked for him to the tune of 2 state championships at Minster in the past, and Ed Miley taking over as the head coach right now at Westerville Central. He's done a masterful job. He's actually an engineering teacher at Olentangy Academy. Had a chance to go up there and check out his classroom. He's done a tremendous job up there, too, and we thank him for his time this week, and Coach Stokes as well, too. And we're about set now for the Buckeye State Bank kickoff, starting enjoying the benefits of banking local with Buckeye State Bank. Get started today by visiting joinbsb.com. And ready for the start of the second half, and teed up by Colin Ronick, a man who played soccer when he was younger, a rugby-style punter, but kicks it like everybody else does off the tee to start the second half. Zach Nelson actually is his backup as a kicker as well, too. So a fast-moving first half, 13 passes, all were complete combined for the 2 teams. And here's the kick to start quarter number 3, and the return's going to start from the 3-yard line. Up across the 15 to the 20, and carrying defenders all the way up to the 27-yard line is Sammy Maloney on the play. So returns at 24 yards, and the Shamrocks, or Rocks as we've come to call them over the last decade, will take over 1st and 10 with Quinn Hart. Assess his performance at quarterback.
Well, very impressed with Quinn Hart. 8 out of 8 passing tonight, 108 yards. You can't argue with that, but still yet to have a touchdown passing in 2022. That's not a wrap on this young man. It's the simple fact that this has become a very good rushing football team.
Quinn, Stout, Maggs, it's become a quarterback factory in the past. As we have a Home Appliance Solutions first down to start the second half. And on this first down play, on the ground they go across the 30-yard line and just pass that to near the 31. Dave and White on the carry, and assess his performance in the first half for being a sophomore.
Well, I'm very impressed with this young man. The coaches had said that he's still really learning the football game from the freshman level up now to the varsity level, but this is a great read, bouncing the play outside, making somebody miss. Mario Williams, the cornerback, had come up to try and make the play, and it gave him a little bit of that juice in the middle, took it to the outside, able to come up with a decent gain on first down.
I know we haven't had the big play yet because we have not heard that Jeff Logan sound effect yet on a big run, so it's coming. You got to hope.
They got to earn it.
They picked up 3 on first down. White to the right and drilled at the 33-yard line. Had a nice little move, and then the defense able to stand him up as he got to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, impressed so far with the attitude of the Westerville Central defense. They're coming out, they're playing hard, they're playing aggressive. They understand the importance of a 3-and-out here. Good effort, and look at the attack coming right up the middle there. That looked like Andrew Creaky coming up from that safety spot, making the play.
That's how he started the first half, too. Remember, he made 2 big hits on the first 2 plays and makes a big hit here early in quarter number 3 as we played about a minute and a half. Third down, they need 3 more for the Rocks to keep it alive with the ball resting at the 34-yard line. With 2 wide at the top, 1 to the bottom, and a wing to the bottom as well, too. And Hart calls his own number and undercut. Does he get up to the sticks? It's going to be close. I think he's got the first down, though.
He does. Where their line judges got it marked, they're going to have the first down. They will keep the drive alive. Good start, though, by Westerville Central, just coming up about a foot short of being able to force a punting situation.
One thing I noticed, it looked like on the left elbow, was a little blood there. I'm surprised that no one's checked into that. Maybe it's just a little rug burn, if you will, on the left elbow just above it of Mr. Quinn Hart.
It's football.
I know that, and you know that. But there's a lot of Florence Nightingales out there.
Last time I checked, it was in a physical game.
1st and 10 on the out pattern. The pass is complete, and the price is paid.
Speak of physical.
Valerio Hudson makes the catch for the 6th time, and the hit is made in the person of that guy on your screen, big number 25, Zach Nelson.
That's the 6th reception on the evening for Valerio Hudson. This time going to be for a gain of about a yard. Zach Nelson coming up from that safety spot. Good read by that young man to make the play.
Strong safety, 6 feet 190, likes fishing, basketball, and history or government classes. Had 9 tackles, including 2 for loss, did Mr. Nelson against Bradley. 2nd down and 8. On the ground, a nice little cut inside. Boy, that was a nice move. Again, that was instinctive because it looked like White was going to go further to the outside on the left and zigged it right up the middle there and got the nice gainer up near midfield, and that'll move the sticks for another Home Appliance Solutions first down.
Yeah, that's 12 carries now for David White, about 75 yards tonight on the evening at 62 yards at the half, and this young man is proving to be a go-to guy in that offense for the Rocks.
If he picks up speed and runs like a fullback, it's going to be a dynamite combination with that man on your screen.
Well, think about a kid that, he's got the height at 6 foot, 185 pounds, just a sophomore, Randy. As he gets stronger and faster, he's going to become a force.
Still growing. Anderson's got it now, off the right side, spins. Ooh, contact again. I think that was Creaky that nailed him again, drilled him after a gain about 5 and then pushed him back.
I think that's what Michael Anderson yelled, "Oh, Creaky!" Man, this is scary coming up in there into the secondary. I want to watch from the back. All right, you're the strong safety. Here's Creaky coming up, and man, just levels him. But a good job of holding on to the football. Good team tackling though by the Warhawks.
Isn't that an Australian term? No, that'd be crikey.
Yeah, that's close enough.
So Crocodile, Creaky with a hit on the play. 45-yard line, though, is where they spot it, so they're halfway home. They need 5 more from the 45. And look at this phone box set, if you will. Everything jammed in there like it's a booth. 9 inside that little box, and the handoff. They get it for a gain of maybe a yard and a half inside the 45 to the 44. As David White on the carry that time.
Pretty effective job by that defensive line. Marcine Mulligan, 5'9", or number 59, 5'10", 221. Jamming things up in the middle.
Number so far for the sophomore running back, and he's had a good night so far, 13 carries and 80 yards. I looked at it. I think this is only the 4th meeting in the series, Jeff, and Coffman has won the other 3. In 2018, they won 27-10. In 08, 49-0. In 07, 41-10. Hart threatening to throw, and he does so, and lobs it up there in the pass. Oh, what an adjustment to the football. And they're going to say, no, he caught it out of bounds. Had to have 1 foot in, and Valerio Hudson trying to catch that floater and still stay in bounds. That's the first incompletion of this contest.
I was going to say, that'll qualify as the first incompletion. You're going to look at this from our end zone camera. You're going to get a great picture. See if he gets a foot down. Going up to high point the ball, comes down.
Ooh, I can't see the tip of that foot.
It's hard to tell if he had possession of the ball, but clearly foot down there is good. That looked good. And here we are from ground level, coming right at you in your living room. You make the call right here. You're going to get a great shot.
Instead, the punting situation, and I'm not sure where that one is going. It went way to the right and out of bounds as you look at that one more time.
Yeah.
You missed a punt that went diagonally out of bounds and did not traverse very far at all. I'm not sure what happened that time as Schramm was punting the ball. And they're going to mark that ball somewhere around the 37-yard line. Actually, mark it officially at the 36. We step aside now for 30 seconds from Toyota.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Danielle.
And we're back on the road again in the adventurous new Toyota RAV4. Now, we can tell you why RAV4 is the best-selling SUV.
But we'd rather show you.
Let's go.
First off, RAV4 is one of 14 different Toyotas available as an electrified vehicle.
At 40 mpg, it's got a driving range of 580 miles.
Saving you thousands in fuel costs over the next 5 years.
And every new RAV4 comes with 2-year no-cost maintenance included.
Toyota. Let's go places.
So Central going for a passing play on first down and coming up empty, so it'll be second down and 10 now from just across the 36-yard line. So again, that punt, he was aiming to the right with Schramm, but boy, that thing just went right off the side of his foot and out of bounds.
I hope you recognize that punt, Randy.
It's my shank, I know.
Looked a lot like your 9-iron.
Yes, thank you. After 13 of 13, now we're zip out of a couple here in the second half. We have jinxed it. SI Jinx comes back again. Showing blitz, and they're coming with a linebacker, and pressure's on, and they got to him. Laser was looking to his left. He didn't see the pressure to his right, and he got drilled.
Brandon Jenkins, 6'2", 178-pound junior with a delayed blitz from that outside linebacker position. Watch number 30. You're going to see it from the right side. Comes unblocked and delivers the blow. And that was a perfect hit, making sure you don't get a targeting call or a helmet-to-helmet call. That was excellent job by number 30, Brandon Jenkins.
His fourth tackle for loss. He likes going to the pool, algebra, and history, specifically the study of wars. He's in one right now, and he won. Third down and long. We'll call it 17 from back at the 29-yard line. Laser looking, dumping, pass incomplete. And again, we get back to the fact they've got to try to get that ball to Jacob Harris, and so far it's not been happening for the squad. It sets up a fourth down and long now, and Colin Ronick on to punt.
Second time on that drive, they tried to get the ball to Kobe Davis, the wide receiver. He's a little bit of a scat back and unfortunately not able to make the play. Keep in mind, the quarterback remains on the field there. See the long snapper? Is that Grant Glazer? Yes. Grant Glazer is the long snapper.
Imagine if he could snap the ball to himself. He wouldn't need a center at all, right?
Yeah, if you can pass the ball over a top, you can pass it between your legs, right?
There's the punt. Allard retreating, saying fire, and telling everybody to get away from the football, and it takes a Warhawk roll inside the 31-yard line. And that's where the Rocks will take over halfway through the third quarter, up still by that halftime score of 21-0 here in this contest. Well, it's the biggest plays, the biggest schools, the best high school football. You get to see it first thanks to First Scores on Fox 28, sponsored by Spectrum. Catch it tonight at 10:45, only on Fox 28. I watch it when I get home. You should too. And at this pace, I'll be home in plenty of time. Unless Jeff wants a treat, we can all get a Toyota and ride at his house and watch it over there.
You get the Toyota, you bring it on over.
All right. On a Home Appliance Solutions first down, it is going to be Hart's student body left and just a couple yards up across the 30 around the 33-yard line. When Hart, a young guy that plays basketball at the school and likes golf and math, against Toledo St. John's, he had 24 carries, Jeff, for 145 yards and a touchdown, and passed 12 of 22 for 156 yards as well.
Yeah, they've had a brutal schedule as well. Randy started out with Toledo St. John. They got a win in that game, lost to a really good Centerville football team. Went on the road up to Canton McKinley, up in my old stomping grounds, won that game 28-26. And then the loss last week to their little brother, Jerome.
And a handoff, and White corralling that football and getting up to the 39-yard line for a nice gain on the play. It'll be third down and short. I love the crowd section that you saw, that shot of the students tonight, because it's USA night tonight, and they've been having so much fun. They were singing God Bless the USA earlier and just having a great time. Look at those guys and gals.
Homecoming weekend as well. So
yes.
Everybody's juiced up a little bit for this one. And
Lexi Schaefer is our queen, and Josh Buss is our king. Congratulations, folks. Third down, a little more than the length of the football. And they've got it and then some. Look at this. The big man taking it down the middle of the field. The linebacker / fullback Carson Cox has a big gainer. Once he got by the first wave of defenders, he picked up another 40 yards and has a first down deep in Warhawk territory.
Did you notice his little hesitation, though, when he, we could sit here and tell you that when he was setting up the block? he was shocked that there was nobody there because he's normally the battering ram that goes in. Watch again if you can see the little hesitation move he makes. Right there. Oh, I'm open? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take it and go. And this is the big dude making his way down the field. No shame in getting caught from behind at 6 foot 220.
Is he a linebacker? Is he running back? He's both. And Hart wants to go downfield, has his man wide open behind the secondary, and the catch is made and banging in to the goalpost, and there'll be a flag at the end of the play, I think, for the contact, but the touchdown to Amari Valerio Hudson, who makes the catch.
I didn't see him signal touchdown, Randy. Did he come down with the ball? They have a late hit after the play. I think is going to be the call against Westerville Central.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is discuss it, and then they'll assess this on either the extra point or probably the kickoff.
But they have still yet to signal whether or not there was a touchdown on the play.
So the George brothers will get together, and the elder Chris George is going to come our way. And now they made the announcement, but here's the announcement from Chris George. There's the touchdown.
The result of the play is a touchdown for Dublin Coffman. After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, defense number 11. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Try for point.
Good hands there by Valerio Hudson to hang on for his first touchdown of the season.
Really good catch and really, not a vicious late hit here, but the contact being made, just a little bit of a push. That's going to get the call, but I want you to look at the sportsmanship here as Andrew Creaky reached over to help him up. So not a cheap shot by any stretch.
Tram for the 28th point. He's got the toe, and he gets it to go. And with 3:46 left to go, make it 28-0. We will take a break here. Week number 5, a good night for the Rocks as they roll right now by 4 touchdowns.
Kicking off for your Rocks, number 18, Matt Schramm. Back deep for the Warhawks, number 6, Kobe Davis. Number 27, Mario Williams. And number 83, Elijah Harris.
First touchdown catch of the season for that man, Mr. Amari Valerio Hudson. And as the first touchdown thrown by Mr. Hart at quarterback, there's your kitchen saver drive as well, too. And that's how it looks. Took just over 2 minutes off the clock. You can get your dream kitchen under a week with a free quote at kitchensaver.com.
Not only his first touchdown catch of the season, the first touchdown pass thrown.
That's what I was saying.
In the season.
How about that?
Pretty
Finally.
Amazing stuff.
That was just to appease you, too.
Exactly. That boy, Quinn Hart. Way to get on the board.
Yeah, with the boot. Now, remember, he's going to kick it 15 yards further. So, if you will, he's going to start it from the 45 across midfield, and he'll just drill that into the band section there. So, we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. First down for the Warhawks, down now by 28 in this contest. And don't forget, Jeff, do not forget our next game. It's coming up. It's just around the corner, and that should be a lot of fun. A battle in the CCL. As Hartley takes on DeSales, two teams that struggled out of the gate, but look out, it's midseason form for both of those teams. We'll have it next Friday at 7 right here on the CW Columbus. Check it out.
Two proud, well-coached football teams. Look forward to that battle every year.
Wiggins, Birchfield, and you've got a front row seat. They're coming. A little crossover by the linebackers, and when they did that, opened a gap up on the left side. A nice gain out to around the 28-yard line, and that is probably the largest gain on the night for Aaron Gilbert and for the Warhawks on the ground. Next to the plays that Gwynn had in garbage time in the last minute of the first half.
Where Aaron Gilbert getting playing time tonight because of the injury to Nas Tribune, who was the kind of the number one guy back there at the running back position, along with Jaden Gwynn.
Nas may see time wide out after taking a look at him in the first few weeks. They think he's got ability to play as a slot guy perhaps, and they'll hand it off again and get the first down. Pushing the pile across the 30-yard line, so around the 33 is where they will start this next drive here, as they've got a nice game across the 30-yard line. And hats off to the Warhawk offense. And the offensive coordinator would be, guess who? The legendary, the ageless Brian Cross, who I remember as a Youngstown hard hat playing semi-pro football before his days at Pymatuning Valley and also at Eastmore High School in Grove City and Camp McKinley.
I remember Camp McKinley. Also remember him being at Grove City when they had Camp McKinley down there at Grove City to play.
We did that game.
Yeah, I know. That was a prolific game down there in the land of the Greyhounds.
I got there at 3 o'clock, and I was not the first one in the gate. They had people just ready to go for that contest. That's Gwynn to the outside. 21 meets 21. And that means trouble. As that time, just waiting for him, was Aiden Magyar, one of the extra linebackers who gets a chance. And really, he plays a lot there in the linebacking corps between Jenkins, Mitchell, and Cox. And Aiden, the 6'2", 215-pound senior, comes in and just takes him by the collar and says, "You're going with me."
That's a terrific job of what they call shucking the blocker, getting yourself separation as a defensive end, outside linebacker. You got somebody gets up in your face. You got to keep in separation from him. And that's where they do hand fighting, basically, to keep away from that offensive lineman and be able to make the play. Nice effort job there on the defense.
After gaining 13 yards in 2 plays, now they look at a second down and 13 from back at the 30-yard line. A crossbuck action in the backfield, and the handoff's going to get the ball up to around the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. As Gilbert again on the carry. Aaron is a guy that started playing football when he was 9 years old to lose weight and get in shape, and he's loved it ever since. He loves to drive, and his intro to theater class is his favorite class right now in school. Up to the 36-yard line, it's third down. They need 7 from there, and we're down to under a minute 20 left to go in quarter number 3 in a very rapidly played game so far. They're coming, sending 6. And a long pass is a jump ball downfield. It was a catch made. They're going to rule incomplete. Was that Harris on the sidelines? Nope, it was not. This time it was intended for Roenick. And he looks a little tender as he comes up after trying to go back and make that catch and landing on his backside.
Boy, 0 targets tonight to Jacob Harris. Surprising they haven't been able to get the big guy the ball. This ball was thrown up high. Really a catchable ball, and nearly comes down with it at the end. But you can see landed on the lower part of his back, and it'll bring up a punt situation for the Warhawks.
Jake Stewart points out, our statistician, that 5-play drive was the longest drive for the Warhawks so far tonight. And this time, gets the punt off, fair catch called for, and a posse was waiting there at the 35-yard line. That was dangerous.
That was a mess. Signaled for the fair catch, and then decided it was a little bit too crowded around there and tried to bail out.
Nigel Allard was looking for an opening there, the sophomore, and there was just a lot of traffic there. So instead, the Rocks will just take possession of the football at the 29-yard line.
Saw the Buckeyes a week ago with a turnover in their football game against Arkansas State. There you look on the sidelines.
And a future Buckeye, and Will Smith.
Will Smith. And really miscommunication between the second-team punt return group. And there is no excuse. First team, second team, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Get out there and get it done.
Quinn Hart still at quarterback on his Home Appliance Solutions. First down, low snap, nicely corralled. And nice run off the right-hand side by David White, who's got to be approaching the century mark, although Cox in one play nearly caught up with him with that 40-yard run that he had.
A very effective running game, and there was a little bit of a concern because of juggling that offensive line tonight. Josh Bailey unable to play the starting center, but give Carson Miller a lot of credit. Stepped in at that center position. He's been seamless in what he did. A little bit of a low snap there, and Leo Cavaness getting the start at the left guard spot.
To mix in with Curtis McCollum and Dylan Halter and Chris Manu as well, too. So nice gain on the play out to the 36, nearly the 37-yard line. They need 2 more. Under 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. And Hart wants to throw, and he has his man. The pass is complete. And for the second time, Christian Whirling has touched the football. The H-back. H is going to stand for Hog after getting the ball again. And that will end 3 quarters of action. 28-0. The home team on top. leading over Westerville Central. Fourth quarter coming up here on the CW Columbus. Player of the game. He's going to ask about player of the game, I think. What do you think, White or Cox or Hart?
Cox was going to have some great numbers because of the two touchdowns and big numbers, but I don't.
Who do you like?
Your call. Yeah, it's not the quarterback. That's a good choice.
$28-0. The Rocks on top of the Warhawks, and having a great night here. Enjoying the music right now, playing Neil Diamond in the background, but there they are. You are looking right now at the Dublin Coffman High School Marching Band. This is a band filled with amazingly talented musicians, and their fans love them. And that's why we are happy to put the Music Around Marching Band spotlight on them for everyone to see. Thank you, folks, for a great job here tonight and every single night. And, Jeff, both schools in full band regalia tonight, too. Your thoughts?
I love those great uniforms.
There you go.
Why they would wear shorts and T-shirts at a game, I do not know.
You wear a uniform when you play football, right?
You do. Every game.
All right, there you go. Feel better now?
Yes.
How did we lose a second on the clock already?
I don't know.
We haven't snapped it yet. All right, take it to the outside here and around the corner. Anderson, there's a flag on the play, but he's not until he reaches midfield. So Michael will pick up about 3 on the play to the 50, but the hanky rests at the 46-yard line. I think Mr. George is going to get a holding call. He needs better hands. Come on, get up for that, Chris.
Yeah, might be a block in the back here. Let's see the call. Holding, yep. Going to go against Coffman. Not many penalties in the game tonight. Nope. Pretty well played by both teams. Here's the call.
Holding on the offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And by the way, something else I want to mention. We had a feature from Miles Harris last week about officiating. You know, there is a shortage of officials. So many people don't want to put in the time, and it's not the easiest thing, but boy, it is so rewarding, and yes, you get paid for it. So please, you can find out online if you go to the OHSAA's website and find out more information at ohsaa.org and find out about officiating. It's fun. You know what? You can learn a lot about the game and teach your daughter or son more about officiating as well, too, and carry it on if you don't mind. A little razzle-dazzle. Here we go, back around the other way. Across the 35-yard line, up to around the 39. Having some fun now. That's Garrett Peterson.
Didn't fool anybody. Good job by the Warhawks of staying with their reads on the play and
give the opponents in future weeks something to think about, though, you know?
Maybe. You don't want to put yourself in a negative position here if you're the Rocks and let Central back into this football game. Obviously leading 28-0. 11 minutes remaining here in quarter number 4. But ball security right now, the number one job of Quinn Hart.
2nd and 18. Remember, they're trying to usurp that penalty that pushed him back. And Hart rolling left, pressures on, gets away from it, looks and will tuck. Boy, there's a guy that ran 100 yards just to knock him down on the play. That was the key. Key just kept following him and following him. Here's a guy that's a physical downhill runner in big number 12 there. And he just only is playing football for his 3rd year. Has a birthday next Friday, likes math, and his little brother is also quite a football player. So the 6'1", 212-pound senior stays with Hart. And with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to go, they're looking at a 3rd and long now for Dublin Coffman. Ball resting back at their own 43-yard line.
Curious to see if they'll be conservative here and try and just flip the field and punt the ball on 4th down with a running play, or try and put the ball in the air.
Play clock down to 3. Hart looking and throws that one up for grabs. It was underthrown and still caught on the play. That is a great adjustment by Amari Valerio Hudson as that pass was underthrown. It almost went straight up, it looked like at first, and Hudson does a great job and makes the catch for a gain of 22, and that will be a first down.
Looked a little bit like a punt on third down. That was not well thrown. This ball was thrown up for grabs.
And Amari
Bear catches it basically on the sidelines. Look at this. What a great shot from our crew, as usual, right down on the sidelines.
Thank you, Dean Marini, in image video. And I thought you were going to make reference to one of my golf shots as well, too, there with that pass. So first and 10 from the 35 near hash. And Hart to keep and had a little gap there. And gets to the 31-yard line before he's knocked down on the play. And for the second time in 4 plays, the hit is made by a key.
Well, that's a critical conversion for Coffman. Westerville North, or Central, had pushed them back to the point where it looked like it was inconceivable to be able to come up with the first down. How about that big guy right there, number 75, Chris Manu? You gotta like his pass in the look test. He's at left tackle position. Watch again. Look at the blocking down here, just pushing, trying to make things happen. Good work.
We keep it on the ground. And look at this, right up the middle, all the way. White's going to take it in for the touchdown.
Number 23.
David White, with 8:45 left to go, gets another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For free estimate on your roof, call or text 614-761-ROOF. And now the clock will become continuous. It's 34-0 with 8:45.
Touchdown number 2 for this young man, David White. And again, basic, solid play, but look how he's taking care of the football as he runs it right up the middle. Not going to allow anybody to strip him, gets into the end zone. A little flex in the end zone. Nothing wrong with that. Celebrate with your team. And just like that, leading 34-0.
Oh, but wait, make it 35.
And make it one more.
So he's got 2 touchdowns. And Cox has a couple as well, too. With that being said, it is now 35-0 with 8:45 left to go. We'll step aside and go side by side with Toyota.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Danielle.
And we're back on the road again in the adventurous new Toyota RAV4. Now, we can tell you why RAV4 is the best-selling SUV.
But we'd rather show you.
Let's go.
First off, RAV4 is one of 14 different Toyotas available as an electrified vehicle.
At 40 mpg, it's got a driving range of 580 miles.
Saving you thousands in fuel costs over the next 5 years.
And every new RAV4 comes with 2-year no-cost maintenance included.
Toyota. Let's go places.
35-0 now. Dublin Coffman on top of Westerville Central after that score. And there's the way they got there. 7 plays, 71 yards, took 4:04 off the clock. There is your kitchen saver drive. So congratulations to the Rocks. And by the way, you can get your dream kitchen in under a week with a free quote at kitchensaver.com. David White now 17 carries for 125 yards. And 2 touchdowns. He has been a workhorse out there as just a sophomore. Maybe he and Cox fighting it out for player of the game. Huh?
I don't know how you could go wrong with either one of them.
Schramm with the boot. And the return going to start from the 10-yard line for the Warhawks. And they'll bring it back some 14 yards. And Warhawks now will wait to see what the flag is at the 34-yard line. There's a flag way over on the far side of the field with 8:19 left to go. Chris George has got all the information. And Chris, what's the call here?
During the return, holding, number 42, return team. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down.
As you notice there, running clock, even during the penalty call. Unfortunate night across the way for Coach Ed Miley. Rebuilding this program in his first year.
Well, a lot of his key contributors are very young, Jeff. When you look at the Gwynns, both sophomores, they saw some time last year as well, too. Aaron Gilbert is just a junior. We talked about Jacob Harris, but his little brother Elijah, just a freshman. He will be a contributor later on this year and definitely next year. So some youth on this team as well, too. You look in the offensive line, and 3 of the 5 starters are juniors. So they have a lot coming back next year. It's a BGSU first down, but way back inside the 15-yard line for the Warhawks. Quick pop. They'll get it out to around the 17 or the 18-yard line. You'll see some fresh jerseys out there.
And guess who caught the ball?
That would be Mr. Harris.
That is the first target tonight to Jacob Harris. We thought he would be all go tonight. This year, 11 catches.
Officials timeout for an injured Westerville player.
Zach Beckman makes the hit. We have a Warhawk down on the field. We'll take a break right here in the CW Columbus. '73. Well, the bad news just got worse for Westerville Central. Max Sproles did not play tonight. He is injured, so Carrick Wickham, his backup, just got injured on this play, so they're going to have to go 3 deep at center now. So as Carrick is taken to the sidelines, so now the Warhawks have the ball. But again, the continuous clock because they're down by more than 30 points with 6:40 left to go.
They moved Will Downey over from the left guard position to play center, and there's a miscommunication in the backfield.
And again, where they're playing 2 deep at quarterback, if you will. So Glazer just keeps it. The guy that actually started at quarterback last year, Cole May, a 6'1", 194-pound senior, getting some playing time. Big number 51, a Butkus number, if you will, makes the hit.
Supposed to be a read option to the right. Everybody goes to the left. So I'm guessing the running backs had it correct. And maybe quarterback Grant Glazer turned the wrong way.
Oh, so a running back can't make a mistake? Is that what you're saying?
Not here.
Oh, jeez. Wait a second. It's week number 5. When does Logan's Heroes make its debut, or is it debut? I forget.
No. Bated breath.
Next week?
Bated breath.
Oh, boy. And look at that pass. It's
there
complete.
We go.
Harris has got it, fighting, churning, and pushing the pile all the way out to the 40-yard line. Nicely done that time by Jacob Harris. Makes his first catch in this game.
Bulletin, folks. Number 5 is a really good player. Get him the football. This time, Grant Glazer able to find the big guy, 6'5", going across the middle. Jacob Harris, 6 touchdowns receptions last year in 2021, 5 already this season. 2 catches here in the fourth quarter.
Offers from BG and Youngstown State already this year.
Of course, BG. That's where his dad rock and rolled.
Young man who likes photography and zoology. And appropriately enough, it's a Bowling Green State University first down. And there's big number 8, Aaron Gilbert, on the carry out to around the 42-yard line. And with the continuous clock, we're down to 5 minutes left to go in regulation.
Now, those of you that are going to join us next week, it'll be a bunch of you. You're going to get to see the first week of Logan's Heroes. It'll be the top 5 teams in the Central District with a chance of going deep into the playoffs. And I've got a list of people on the wannabe list here that include New Albany, Jerome, Big Walnut, Granville, Upper Arlington, Gahanna, Bradley, Grove City, Thomas, and Groveport. Those are all teams that are in the mix. I had picked Central, but they were losing at the half.
You are the Santa Claus of high school football. Nice lead on the swing pass across midfield, and guess what? It's Harris again who has the catch, drags defenders, hanging on for dear life. There was Luke Sopko, but he's got another first down for the Warhawks.
This just in again. Number 5 is a good receiver. Got him in the flat, athletic, able to make the play, stretching for the first down.
You're breaking stories left and right, as did the executive director of the OHSAA, Doug Ewett here.
How about that?
At halftime, breaking that story about a venue for a state championship. If you didn't get it, I'm not going to tell you. You should have been listening at halftime. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Quick pop, and the pass is complete. Again, Harris on the sidelines. And carries defender, stays in bounds. It's like tackling a truck. Somebody lost their helmet, don't miss a play, but Harris didn't miss that one as he took it down the sidelines and somehow tightrope the sidelines and got a big gainer.
Was he suspended for the first 3 quarters of the game?
Just got here or something?
He was on the bus. He got here on time.
Remember?
I don't think he was in the doghouse.
Remember a couple years ago we had a player leave at halftime because his mom didn't want him to play?
I understand.
And here we got a guy that is getting the football and showing you why he's all-world in Jacob Harris. There might be something going on that we didn't know. Once again, we're in the Bath red zone. We've got a whistle and a timeout going to be taken by
Central.
Nope, Dublin Coffman.
Well, they signaled
Timeout.
Central.
Dublin Coffman. That's their first charge.
Going to
Timeout.
go ahead and regroup and get that defense to try to make sure they can go ahead and keep that shutout intact. With that being said, we'll remind you that this Saturday there's only one way to prepare for game day, and it's with the best pregame tradition, the Football Fever on ABC6. Join Clay Hall and a roster of Buckeye Brain Trust getting you ready for a primetime showdown in the shoe, the Football Fever. Saturday at 11 a.m. and only, I say only, on ABC6. And the orb awaits down by the goal line. You can almost smell it if you're wearing green tonight.
Yep.
As it rests near the green and the orange, if you will.
No question who's going to clutch that orb.
The question is, will there be a rumor of a smile from Garen Stokes tonight? Stick around. His dentist is hoping. 3:03 left to go. Warhawks trying to dent that end zone for the first time. Another VGSU first down from inside the 13. Quick pop. Guess who? Nice sidestep. Carries defenders. Nice spin move down to the 5, maybe the 4. Brought down on the play by Zach Beckman. Again, we should mention it's the number 1 offense, though, against the number 2s for the Rocks on defense.
Again, it seems to be the go-to here, 4 to 5. Throw it out there in the flat, make him have athletic plays. And yes, you've got some fresh green jerseys out there on the field getting repetitions, which I applaud Garen Stokes, for getting those guys out there on the field here late in the fourth quarter.
That man needs 1. He would like 4. Quick pop. Pass is caught. Guess who? Touchdown. Warhawks do dent the scoreboard with 2:18 left to go. Harrison Company able to get the touchdown, and you can get more information about a free estimate on your roof. You can call or text Ramos Roofing at 614-761-ROOF. And with that, it is now 35-6. The continuous clock is done for now.
Look at the look on Jacob's face like, yeah, I can catch it, I can run it, I can get it into the end zone. Just got to throw me the leather.
6th touchdown for him this season. They're digging it along the far side. Extra point time now. The snap, and the kick is up and good for Colin Roenick now, as Roenick has converted 4 extra points and make it 35-7.
We will go back to our standard clock operations for the last couple minutes of this game.
Although you got to think that the Rocks will go ahead and be willing to take a knee. It's time now to pick our player of the game. This went down to the last moment, and we had a tie-breaking vote. And the winner of the player of the game is David White. It was between he and Cox, and to tell you the truth, Carson Cox and David White could actually split this award. But David was the steady guy carrying that ball tonight with great ball security. Got 2 touchdowns and got over 100 yards rushing. And with that, we give him the nod as the player of the game.
Yeah, two efforts tonight that were outstanding by the running backs. The offensive line deserves a lot of credit as well for creating those opportunities. And look at David White just really delivering the blow, keeping those pads low as he goes through the line, head up, breaking tackles, breaking ankles. Looks good.
We could have made it Carson White or David Cox perhaps too, and just kind of combined it that way. There's your Kitchen Saver scoring summary, by the way. 5.5 minutes off the clock, 8 plays, 86 yards. And there you go with your Kitchen Saver scoring summary. Get your Dream Kitchen in under a week with a free quote at kitchensaver.com. So 35-7. Do you try an onside kick here, sir?
I would be surprised if they don't.
Zach Nelson has it teed up.
Kick it deep here.
He will pooch it, and the ball's not going to go 10 yards.
You ever seen a negative kickoff? Yeah, you better down it. Well, I guess you can't advance it, right? It didn't go 10 yards.
That was an interesting kick because it wound up going backwards. That's hard to do.
That is a first.
Yeah.
on Friday Night Rivals for us to see a backwards kick on the kickoff.
Chris George is going, what did I just miss?
He's not sure what. Look at the giggle.
He's smiling. He's a happy guy, too.
I don't know.
Some officials look so stern and so upset, and they look very regimented. Chris looks like he's a guy just having a good time out there in the field, happens to be wearing a whistle and a microphone.
Yeah, I think what he's telling his team is, guys, this was not on the test.
Let's see what Chris has to say about this.
He's not sure. I wouldn't know either. This is crazy. You know, the ball didn't go 10 yards, so.
Nope. It went -3. Yeah. It's not going 10, it's going -3 here. Take a look at this thing.
You know, it's not like somebody touched it and downed the football. I mean, to put this much spin on it, to have it come backwards like this. I mean, this is a world record -3-yard kickoff. Unbelievable. Yeah, Todd Alice must be in charge of the kickers, of the kicking team.
The legendary Dublin coach just joining us behind us. He's having a good time.
Oh, my goodness.
1st and 10 after the illegal touching. The ball is going to be marked at the 31-yard line.
My old teammate Todd Alice got his head coaching job, first job ever, 1978 here at Dublin Coffman. And he's gone full circle. You know, after being retired from the game for a while, he's now back as a special assistant to the head coach.
Yes, he is a guy that's kind of in charge of all the information that needs to be disseminated, if you will. Cameron Hairston on the carry. Jack Schaefer in now at quarterback. Game day operations manager, we'll call him that for the football program. But so the new faces out there for the Rocks, including Faisal Shawar. You can see him. Big number 10 is out there still. Amari Valeri Hudson. Are they going to let him get a snap here?
It would appear.
Huh.
Wildcat.
2nd and 7. Just be careful. Up. And we dump the center.
Flags on the play.
Do we have encroachment? Do we have false start? Chris, it's one of the two. Take your pick. Shouldn't be a long conference on this one. You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dead ball.
Cue.
Encroachment.
Okay.
Defense, number 42. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
He is right on time. Chris, great job by your crew. Chris George, Adrian Johnson, Andrew Browning, Paul Baltaser, and Ryan George, the younger and cuter brother of the George family. 2nd and 2 from the 23.
They'll let the clock run all the way down until that back judge there on your right-hand side of the screen raises his hand, indicating that there's 5 seconds left. They do have shot clocks.
Yeah,
here.
they have play clocks on either end, so they can see that as well, too. So they'll hand it off and off the right side. Look at this nice gain inside the 20 to around the 18-yard line. I'm thinking that was Aditya Gupta, number 37. So the 5'8", 146-pound junior goes off tackle on the right side, gets the ball to the 18.
These are some of the guys that'll get up early tomorrow morning, playing that JV football game.
Yeah, I played last night, too. A little tired.
On homecoming night. That's a big
look at
deal.
That. Yeah, how about that?
Big deal.
And Josh Buss and Lexi Schaefer, king and queen, respectively. Once again, we are inside the second-string red zone, courtesy of Bathfitter. From the 18. One more play, and you can put it on the truck there. There's the handoff. Oops. We got down inside the 17, and that'll be it. And the celebration will begin in earnest for the Rocks as they will go above 500 at 3-2 on the season. Oh, there was a smile. I saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, Garen Stokes smiled. Dear Diary, it happened here today. He gets the victory. Ed Miley coming over to congratulate him as well, too. And what an impressive performance tonight by the Rocks, Jeff, in his 35-7 victory to get over the hump at 3-2.
Yeah, I mentioned that this is a break point in the schedule right now at week number 5. Pretenders and contenders. Are you going to be able to get yourself in a position to be able to be one of those 16 teams in your region to make the playoff and extend your season? And I think Dublin Coffman took care of that tonight in terms of making a positive step in that direction. A lot more work needs to be done on the Westerville Central side.
And for the Rocks next week, they are on the road to take on Olentangy Liberty. Then they come home to take on Olentangy Orange. Then they've got Davidson at home on the road against Upper Arlington. And then in week 10, they are home to take on Hilliard Bradley. 35-7 the count in this one. Time now to step aside and check out our Scholar Athletes of the Week.
Ohio Education Association is proud to recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athletes of the Week. Liam Shaughnessy is a track and field athlete for Dublin Coffman High School. He's all district in cross country and a state qualifier in track. Liam has a 4.3 GPA. Max Sprouse has lettered 3 times in football at Westerville Central High School. He plays violin in the orchestra and earned a high 5 for the AP Physics 1 exam. Max has a 4.7 GPA. Congratulations to these outstanding Ohio Education Association scholar athletes.
Welcome back to Dublin Coffman High School on a USA night here in the stands, as the student section now with their red, white, and blue out on the field to join that sea of green from the football players. And they have to be happy as their team convincingly got the win in this one. And it was a 1-2 punch when you think about the work of White and Cox offensively. And then Cox doing a great job defensively as well, too, in this contest. And so many contributors to it. And let's not overlook the play of the wide receiver, too. We didn't talk much about the passing game, but Valerio Hudson at 5'11", 150, and a sophomore established himself, I think, is a threat tonight as well.
I think so, too. And Quinn Hart did a good job of distributing the ball around to different players on the field. You really just needed to make sure you kept those 2 running backs going. And how about the H-back, Christian Whirling, getting his first 2 catches of the 2022 season coming out of that H-back spot.
Standing by down on the field is the head coach of the victorious Rocks. Hold your applause, please, for the second-year head coach, Garen Stokes. And it's not a state championship. Oh, my God, there's a smile. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 smiles in one night. Coach, your thoughts about the victory here tonight?
We had a great week of practice. We yelled a lot last week. We're quite embarrassed, and our guys responded like they're awesome, man. So, yeah, it was a great week of practice. Like, we actually prepped like winners, and we just won.
Hey, Coach and Chef Logan, one of the things that I've noticed is your team has gotten stronger, and I know that's one of the things that you impressed on them in the weight room during that winter time. It sounds like you're moving the character in the right direction.
Man, it takes what it takes, and not everybody wanted to do that. So it's what the process is going to take, and we're going to work here.
And finally, it was a 1-2-3 punch. You had White and Cox at running back, and also Valerio Hudson. Talk about the contributions of those 3 guys tonight, what they meant to the offense, and Cox playing on both sides of the football.
Yeah, we got a lot of sophomores out there that are learning and getting better. We just got to go back to work, man. We're not perfect. We're not super athletic. Like, we've got to be tough and disciplined, and that's our only path. And if we don't do that, we did it tonight, and we saw what happened. If we don't do that, we don't have a chance.
Not a state title, but it is a huge win heading into league play. Coach, congratulations, and thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Man, it won 2 state titles in the past at Minster in D6 and D7, 1 runner-up as well, 2 in D7. He's got the trophy.
Yeah,
is he going to present it to the team?
There we go. Hand that off. Enjoy it, boys.
It's appropriate. We're rocking here tonight at Coffman High School. Final stats in this contest. Total offense. It was kind of a silent 402 yards. You know, it didn't feel like 402. Sometimes it feels like an old AFL game. This did not, but look at that, rushing yards. That's what they wanted to do, control the ball on the ground. But they also showed you the propensity to throw the ball when they needed to, and balance for Westerville Central, but not the size of numbers they'd like to see.
Now, they used the run to set up the pass, and they were able to hit a couple of home runs tonight. Took advantage of what they could defensively. But very aggressive play by the Rocks on defense tonight. Something they could be proud of. Neither team with a turnover tonight, Randy. So good, solid, clean football by both squads.
And I have plenty of time to make it over to your house tonight for first scores on Fox 28 at 10:45.
As long as you got that Toyota, we're ready to go.
All right. On top of that, we'll be next week at DeSales High School as the Stallions take on the Hawks. What a game that will be in the CCL. It is league play with that contest. Next Friday at 7 on the CW. Well, folks, another edition of Central Ohio Toyota's Friday Night Rivals has come to a close. We'd like to extend a thank you to all of our sponsors, also to Dean Marini and the Image Video Broadcast team. So join us again next Friday at 7 when Bishop Hartley takes on St. Francis de Sales. Our final score one more time. Dublin Coffman, the Rocks roll over the Warhawks of Westerville Central 35-7. It has been a great night. Thanks for joining us. I'll say it one more time. Join me. You've been watching Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Friday Night Rivals presented by Columbus State Community College in one place on the CW Columbus.